Ryan. Hello, hello, hello. Doug, that was quite the face that you opened on there.
Thank you, thank you. It's my pondering.
Great. I
Hmm,
can't wait for this to be the thumbnail. This is going to be
Yeah,
a great
again.
thumbnail.
Well, even last time I was trying to do like all these faces and stuff. Again, it was just like, like that's some kind of face. I'm like, I'm not even gonna try anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. Hello everyone. Welcome to Chatting with Doug, the Q&A where you get to ask this bald genius the questions that you feel. I'm sorry.
Bald?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bring it up. I called you a genius though, Doug. Let's
Yeah,
ignore the
but
bowl.
bald.
Let's
How many bald geniuses are there? There's not as many. There's a lot of like fully hair geniuses, but bald. I
Right,
guess
it's
I'll
never
take
been
it.
done before in cinema to have a
I
bald
guess I'll take it.
genius. Yeah,
Hmm.
all right, great. Anyway, let's get to the rules. I see that we have a ton of questions flooding in today. YouTube, you were on the gun. The second that I hit that go live button, people were like, boom, 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 questions. So yeah, let's get to the rules so that we can start answering some of these questions for you. First and foremost, we give priority to bit messages and super chats, since that is some real world money spent. Oh gosh, he's frozen. That's all right. He can be frozen during the Q&A. Towards the end of stream, sometimes we have a chance for highlighted messages or, sorry, I'm distracted by the freeze frame, or regular questions from the YouTube chat. Now I got distracted. It's okay. Everything was fine. Please keep your messages short and to the point. The longer it is, the faster we have to read it, the more likely it is that we're going to have to repeat ourselves, that we don't have. Okay, I gotta like reset myself. I got distracted by the frozen, I can't look at Doug. I can't look at him. No. Watch the lengthier questions. Don't make them long. If you have to split it up, absolutely must split it up. Keep it to 3 parts maximum. Again, same kind of thing happens. We just lose the point and we do not have time to repeat or figure out what you're trying to talk about. There you are.
Stop trying to take over the chat. Sorry. I tried to stop him, but he just took over. He tried biting my neck. You should have seen. He just was using the mouse to freeze everything up. I'm like, hey, stop it. He just went for my neck. It was terrible. Terrible. Anyway, sorry about that.
That's all right. Please don't repeat yourself over and over again in chat. You can get timed out or even banned if you're going to continuously do that. YouTube, please be aware that even if your super chat unpins from the top, I have a list of questions. It is very, very rare that we actually miss a question. A lot of times you're just in the queue. We can get up to an hour behind, so just be patient. We will get to it. There's no need for you to repeat it. Same thing with bit messages as well. Also on the YouTube side of things, we prioritize super chats that are $5 and over, just because we do have a large volume of questions, and that helps us kind of sort through and prioritize the questions there. If we have time, we'll go back and read some of the ones that were less than $5. But $5 and over are given first priority with the super chats. Please no spoilers. Not everyone has had a chance to see things like Wild Robot or Joker 2. Hey, there's actually things for us to say. Don't spoil now.
That's right.
For a little while,
It's been a while.
we'd be like, I don't even know. So yeah, I think that's it. Don't swear, Doug.
Yes, thank you. I was doing a lot of that when I was frozen there. Frozen today.
Right, when you were frozen today. All right. I think that's it. I got distracted. I didn't do a great job of explaining the rules, but we got there, okay?
Because I wasn't here. Your emotional Doug wasn't here.
Yeah, my emotional support Doug wasn't here. He was too busy being accosted by Chaplin.
Frozen.
All right, let's get to some of these questions then.
Do it.
Brian, thank you for the $5 super chat. Would you be willing to review the Mandela Effect movie? Also, what do you think of the Mandela Effect?
I mean, it's a fun thing to talk about. It's, I like trying to figure out why do we remember, was it Berenstein instead of Berenstain and stuff like that. I like trying to piece that together. I haven't seen the movie. I don't think anyone would click on it. I think the premise is pretty funny. I have no idea if it's meant to be a comedy or not, but I don't know if it has enough of a following to do a review on it. But it sounds like a funny idea.
Will, thank you for the $5 super chat. Evening, guys. Doug, I'd be interested in knowing if you would review Open Season, starring Martin Lawrence and Ashton Kutcher.
I've never seen it, but it looks bad. So it is something that I have it on the list. I don't know when I'll get to it, but I will.
Jace, thank you for the $5 super chat. Glad you gave Killer Clown's film a review. Did you know the popcorn gun that actually worked cost the studio $7,000? FYI, a DLC of Elvira has been added to the game.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I haven't played the game. Yeah, for a gun, you only use. I guess it's like a wedding dress. You only use it once, so might as well put a lot of money into it.
True. Alexander, thank you for the 500 bits. Great review today, Doug. Funny enough, I just rewatched Candyman last night, so the Nostalgia Ween intro was a very fun surprise. Could we please have a hint for next week's review?
Um, hmm. Sure. It's stop motion, which you think, oh, that's easy, but there's a lot of them.
There we go. Frank, thank you for the $10 super chat. I have one statement and one question. I hope that you review the menu for Nostalgia Ween, and my question is, do you think you'll review the holdovers for the Christmas season?
Which one's hold? Oh, the one that came out last year. That's another one I don't think would probably get many clicks. Although weirdly around Christmas time, like the first one, sometimes the second one we put out does well, and after that they just nobody watches them for some reason. So maybe I could do it just to do it, but I feel like everything's a little straightforward, and another reason I don't want to do it is because I would have to bring up that I'm not a big fan of Dead Poets Society, because I feel like this is what that movie was trying to do, and it does it so much better. But then I have to crap on like everybody's favorite movie. I just don't want the hate. I got enough hate. So probably not. And the menu I'm not doing this year, but I'll probably do it next year.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Heather, have you seen Wild Robot? No, not yet. I'm sorry. When I was telling my chat on my personal stream earlier today, too, I'm probably going to see a movie this weekend, but I'm not going to see Wild Robot because it's a re-release of the original Gundam movie in theaters this Sunday. So
the real Wild Robot.
Yeah, I'm probably going to go see Gundam.
You're not going to see Megalopolis? Or somebody at the screen. And somebody at the screening just called it Megaflopolis.
I love that. That's hilarious. Noah Zinner, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug, Avengers month?
We got it written down as a possibility. I gotta see how many. Are there 4 movies? Is that it? Right? And there's usually 5 days in March, so I always keep hearing they're gonna do another Avengers movie. So maybe I should wait for one more to come out. But I can talk about it, but again, I'm not crazy passionate about it, but I can bring up some stuff and compare it and everything. So possibly.
Majestic Demon, thank you for the 500 bits. Good evening, Killer Douglas in Heather Space. Happy Nostalgia Ween. How are you scary folks doing tonight?
Good. I love yours is just Heather Space.
I'm a big Heather Space. Theater Grad, thank you for the 500 bits. Back when you went trick-or-treating, what was the best and worst candy to get?
Man.
Best was anything king-sized. You know what?
I was gonna say, if you've seen the Bob's Burgers, you know, full bars. That's like the holy grail. I was a big fan of Twix, though. I'm still a big fan of that, and peanut butter cups I really like. The worst, the sweet tart thing, the little candy necklaces, all those, any kind of fruity tarty thing, I didn't really get into.
Alexander, thank you for the 500 bits. What are your thoughts on Tales from the Dark Side, the movie? It's often known as a spiritual follow-up to the Creepshow films.
I can see that. Yeah, it kind of is. That's one of the most creative, what do they call it? Links to the stories. You know, they have these anthology stories. They always have like a host or some one long story going on. That was one of the most creative ones, and it took me by surprise. But yeah, I like it. It's funny because I remember enjoying it. I remember that the workaround, the story that connected all the stories, but I don't remember the individual ones that great. We watched that show. We really liked that show, but I don't remember the movie too. And maybe I should watch it again because I remember liking it, but I just don't remember the individual segments that great. So I should probably put it on again.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. I saw your review of Casper a year ago. They play it almost every single Halloween. Do you have your feelings changed for Casper yet?
Yes and no. So I never hated it. I will say this too. For maybe I put this in the review, maybe I didn't. For making a movie on Casper, I mean, one of the dorkiest cartoons to ever exist. They did a decent job. I mean, like they not only did they make it kind of a little cool for that time, and the effects were kind of a new. I don't want to say they're brand new, but they were definitely dabbling with it a lot more in terms of like, hey, CG that actually has like eyes and personality, like CG characters. But it is something that lasts, and that kind of surprised me. It's a happy surprise because it's not like a terrible film or anything, but yeah, it's something that it's not a bad film to entertain kids and to still keep around around Halloween and stuff like that. It just never did it for me.
Alexander, thank you for the 500 bits. What are your thoughts on The Father with Anthony Hopkins?
Oh, okay. I know which one that is. I haven't seen it. I heard it's really good, and he's really good in it, but I haven't had a chance to check it out. It's another one of those where I'm like, I just feel like it'd be too depressing, but maybe it wouldn't. Maybe it'd be very inspiring. I don't know.
Trip Corey, thank you for the $5 super chat. Will you ever do any sort of video for the Animaniacs reboot?
I keep putting down for like on the Doug Rambles or something like that, just like an old versus new, talking about it. Just my initial thoughts. Because I was thinking about doing like an NC old versus new, but I'm like, man, it's just getting the clips is going to be so tricky because they're not on Blu-ray. So at some point, I'll do like a Doug Rambles comparing the two. I do like it, but it's very clear it's not as good as the original. I think it's interesting to talk about why it's not as good, but what few elements did outdo the original, because there are a few.
Frank, thank you for the $5 super chat. What are your thoughts on the movie Sex, Lies, and Videotape?
Did I see that? I don't think I did. I want to say at some point I was like, I should see this because I remember hearing about it. I don't think I ever did. So I have no thoughts, I guess.
Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. To paraphrase Dean Warner from Animal House, fat, drunk, and stupid is no way to go through life, son. Whoop-de gosh darn do.
Well, I guess I'm stuck.
Prowl, thank you for the $20 super chat.
Thank you.
Dear Doug, I know you love Bob's Burgers. I am curious which one you feel is better, Family Guy or Bob's Burgers. Personally, I prefer the former because Bob's Burgers have a lot likable, more relatable characters.
Totally. And I'm shocked how every time I watch a new episode, I'm not tired of them yet. I mean, that show's been out for a while. And so I feel like the writing's fantastic. I think they just got really good characters who can make these lines always work. Even it's not like a diehard laugh. It's like, I just like, they're just the right amount of weird. They're weird. They're weirder than what we see in reality, but at the same time, we kind of point to them and say, I kind of know a kid like that. I kind of know a family that's this. I kind of know a Linda. I kind of know a Bob. And I think that's what really works about it, is that they got these really well fleshed out characters that you don't mind just spending a half hour with. Like it's just the perfect amount of comedy, and I don't want to say realism, but some surreal form of relatability.
Chase, thank you for the $5 super chat. This is part 1 of 2. I said to avoid the substance because you don't need days of nausea and queasiness with fatigue and brain fog. I know you remember it because so we don't have to, but
I'll wait for part 2.
To be continued. Dave Z Dragon, thank you for the $5 super chat. Familiar with the Trash Pack commercials? Sounds good for a commercial special review.
No, I don't know that one. I'll look it up.
Trash Pack, yeah. Jace, thank you for the $5 super chat. This is part 2 of 2. Please hear me out. This is one you really don't want to. It's sad the new Toxic Avenger is marked unreleasable, yet the substance got a pass. Shake my head.
I want to see it. I'll say that I'm not like in a rush to see it. I heard it is good. Brad was talking about sometimes, like, it's obviously mimicking like some certain filmmakers like Kubrick and stuff, which is fine, but they're literally stealing certain shots, like the one from The Shining, with like the low angle shot of him at the door, and I'm just like, that's going to be distracting. But I do want to see it. That stuff doesn't make me tense up too much. I'm usually okay, and mostly because I know how they do a lot of the effects and stuff. If anything, I'm kind of like, ooh, they found something I can legit like cringe at. Like, that's not very often for me when it comes to horror. So yeah, no, I don't worry, I'll check it out. It's not gonna make my fatigue or anything worse. I'm not gonna stay up nights or anything.
Trip, thank you for the $5 super chat. You said you've seen Hilda. How many seasons?
I saw the first season. I think I saw a little bit of the movie, and I think there's a second season. I haven't seen the second season. I found it pretty charming. It was a very charming show. In fact, that's a good reminder. I should finish the second season.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Now, apparently, Andrew Garfield is saying The Amazing Spider Man 3 might happen. If it does, what story would you like to see for his Spider Man?
I don't know, because that second one was rough. It was not that great. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know who you hand it to. I mean, maybe hand it to the same people as before. Just kind of leave Sony as much out of it as possible. Just have them write the check, and give it to them and see what happens. Like a blank check movie, just sort of see what they make. Because at the very least, if it doesn't work, you could just blame the original people. You can be like, aha, it wasn't Sony, you can see where the most talent was at by comparing the two.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. How would you rank these Chris Sanders movies? Lilo and Stitch, How to Train Your Dragon, and Wild Robot.
All right, so my personal favorite's Lilo and Stitch, but in terms of what's better, probably How to Train Your Dragon is better. Then probably Wild Robot, and then Lilo and Stitch. But Lilo and Stitch is still my personal favorite.
At Movies, thank you for the 500 bits. Kiss, Marry, Kill. Samara Weaving from Ready or Not, Elizabeth Moss from The Invisible Man, Anya Taylor-Joy from The Menu.
Was it Kiss, Marry, Kill? I guess kill the one from Ready or Not, because that's kind of the idea. You got to kill her. That's the whole plot of the movie. So I guess that goes without saying. Kiss, Marry, Kill. Let's see. And it was Anya Taylor-Joy. Oh, and then Carrie-Anne Moss. Kiss Carrie-Anne Moss, or not Carrie-Anne Moss. What's her name from Invisible Man?
Elizabeth Moss.
Elizabeth Moss, because she's clearly going to come with baggage, rightfully so. And then marry Anya Taylor-Joy, because I think she's cute.
Will, thank you for the $5 super chat. Top 3 Maggie Smith roles. For me, she's always Professor McGonagall.
I do really like her in Sister Act. I thought she brought a lot of comedy. She made a lot of those lines really work. Yeah. Gosford Park. No, okay, both Gosford Park and Downton Abbey. I mean, even though it's basically the same character, but it's such a good character. No, okay, actually, I take that back. Downton Abbey, and then Hook. I thought she played a really good older Wendy, and they had to put like old lady makeup on her. Like that. That's really impressive. She really wasn't that old at that point.
Crush Level, thank you for the 42-month subscription over on Twitch. Welcome back. Appreciate that. 42 months? That's almost a year. It is. Congratulations.
Yes, that's math.
John, thank you for the $5 super chat. What are your thoughts on Terry Gilliam's The Fisher King?
Oh, I like it. Somebody asked before what my wife's favorite movie is, and she was... originally it was that, but actually I think it's Lilo and Stitch now. I was asking her before, and she's like, I think it might be Lilo and Stitch, but before it was Fisher King. And yeah, I really like it. I think it works. I think it's interesting. I didn't always know where it was going. It's dark and twisted, but it's got like a good heart to it. Yeah, I think it's very well done.
Alex Loves Musicals, thank you for the 500 bits. Happy Wednesday, everyone. What are your thoughts on Joker 2? If you've seen it, I heard it isn't getting good reviews.
I didn't care for it, but like I'm on the verge, you know what I mean? Like it almost works. There are ideas, they do explore them very well, and I was excited for it being a musical, but I don't think they do the musical part very well. They just sing songs that already exist. They're all the same type of song. We don't find out about them as they sing. They purposefully don't sing it well and dance well and stuff like that. Once in a while they do, and it just didn't justify its existence being a musical or just existing, in my opinion. But I think people are going to see it. They're going to like it fine. It's giving what the trailer is promising. And I think they'll say, yeah, that was okay. And then never see it again. That's my guess. But I could be wrong. Could be a huge, huge hit. But that's my assumption.
John, thank you for the $10 super chat. So considering Killer Clowns was from this very list, what's going to be next off of the never going to review list? By the way, that is becoming ridiculous and hard to take it seriously.
I forgot that was on there too. That's hilarious. I think I just kept getting requests for it. Well, I think the thing too is back then I was reviewing more like bad movies to make fun of them and stuff like
Mhm.
I would review them, but it was more just to mock, uh, you know, use more comedy than analyzing back then. But yeah, since then the style's changed. I'm like, I can talk about this now, and it was interesting seeing just how more popular that movie got. And I was kind of curious why. So looking at it again, it was kind of like, okay, I can see more what makes this unique compared to like movies that are made now.
Jace, thank you for the $5 super chat. How do you feel about Wicked using your own joke about Jeff Goldblum being the Wizard of Oz? Like when Space Jam New Legacy had Wile E. Coyote and Mad Max.
I was gonna say, did they? Oh, maybe I used that joke for something else. It wasn't Wicked. Um, Honestly, I mean, I've seen the show. I think it's a good choice. He is really good and even kind of terrifying in Chaos. So I think he can pull off the wizard pretty well. No, I actually thought that was very good casting.
Amanda, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have you ever considered the Ninth Gate or Elvin and the Chipmunks Meet the Wolfman for Nostalgiaween?
I have that Wolfman one on the list because I get requests for it a lot. I've never seen it. I hear it's good, I guess, but I am curious what's good about it. Um, I'll get to that at some point. And that was the first one.
The Ninth Gate?
Oh, the Ninth Gate. Um, that's another one. A, nobody would click on it. B, I can talk about it, but not in great detail. I have a soft spot for it, but it is one where it's like I can't say it works. I think I got the line. The movie doesn't end; it just stops. From a reviewer called Mr. Cranky, who was talking about that movie, and I'm just like, "Oh, that's a good line. Okay, I got to remember that." And I'm sure he's not the only one to use it. I'm sure a lot of us use it, but yeah, that's where I first heard that.
Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug, I don't want any more trouble from you like you had last year in the Fillmore district. Do you understand? That's my policy. Whoop-de gosh darn doo-doo. Thanks, YouTube.
You gotta say it like Rupert Thorne, though. I can't do his voice. That voice is so deep and cool.
V-Man, thank you for the $10 super chat. Who is your favorite Puerto Rican actor? Mine is Raul Julia. I loved him in The Addams Family, and just like me, he was a believer in Puerto Rican independence. His best friend is president of the PR Independence Party.
I mean, if I can do the ones I've already, passed away, yeah. I mean, Raul Julia. I really like Benicio del Toro. He's really, really good. Just going through a list of others here. I mean, I don't think I'm gonna get one. Oh, Louis Gussman's really good. He's very underrated. That's three. I think it's pretty good.
JL, thank you for the 550 bits. Which Batman movie is your favorite? Batman 89, Batman Forever, or Batman and Robin? I'm talking about the original four.
I mean, it's Batman 89, clearly.
Theater grad, thank you for the 500 bits. Do you consider yourself an optimist or a pessimist?
I like to describe myself, and this is really true, an optimistic pessimist, where I do see the downside of what can happen, and I think about it a lot, but it makes me more grateful that it's not happening and that there are possibilities that things can change around. But that's always kind of my thought of like, the best of the two is that because if you're always optimistic, happy about everything, which sometimes I have been, that's not a good mindset here because then you're not seeing bad things are happening around you or suffering, and you can't help someone as well. I think you do need that understanding of like real pain and real hurt and life experiences. So I had a little bit of that fear, that paranoia, that a healthy amount isn't bad. So because again, then you would never lock your doors or you leave your car door open and stuff like that. So yeah, that's usually how I describe myself, and it works for me. It's a good combo.
Noah, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug, just so you know, you do not need to play Batman Arkham Origins before Arkham Knight at some point.
Is that the next one? I thought
Knight
I
is the
thought
next
Knight was
one.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Origins is a prequel.
Origins is a prequel, though. Yeah. No, whenever I play them, I'm gonna just play them in the order that they came out. So yeah, I'll do that.
Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. Favorite scene from 40-Year-Old Virgin and or Superbad?
I mean, 40-Year-Old Virgin's got to be the bags of sand. That really made me laugh. And super bad. Probably the break yourself, fool. Like that made me laugh quite a bit.
Trip Corey, thank you for the $5 super chat. In regards to my question last week about if you do another old versus new, I meant a comparison of two films by categories, not a show.
Two films by category. Not sure. What would I do for a film? I don't know. I feel like I kind of did them all the ones I wanted to do.
Mm.
I'm sure there's got to be something out there, but yeah, top of my head, I'm not thinking of one.
Kevin Lane, thank you for the $5 super chat. The Trip for Biscuits question from last week was from a show where two people enter a noir novel set in the 1940s. That's where the slang came from.
Good to know. Thanks.
The Gaming Politician, thank you for the $10 super chat. Hey Doug, tomorrow's my birthday and I've been dying to know what you think of my Star Wars fanfic. Since I couldn't share it last time, could you please search it up? It's on AO3 under my username, please and thank you.
I will do my best. I'm very, very busy though. I will give you a heads up. I probably won't have time. I will do my best, but it's very likely I won't have time. I will do my best though.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. During the Epic Mickey stream, you said that in every version of Superman you have seen, you have never liked Jimmy Olsen. What don't you like about him? I have always seen him as a charming character.
You know what? I take it back. The one in the animated series is okay. But I get what they're going for. They want to make him the dweeby little golly gee, you know, like that kind of character and stuff. I mean, it is a classic trope. I get why he's there and everything. He's just always very annoying. I think it's very hard to get that character down. It's hard to do a character that's kind of geeky and annoying and you know, the little pipsqueak, but make them charming and likable. So that when they do get it right, it's like, oh man, you just remember it really well. And Jimmy's show, like, he's always just been annoying. Except, like I said, in animated series, I remember him being okay there.
Kevin Lane, thank you for the $5 super chat. Please include the others in more Q&A videos, not just you and Heather, and please start playing video games on YouTube, starting with Arkham Origins. We generally don't have other people for the Q&A right now because we can barely get through just Doug. Imagine Rob or Malcolm and Walter added to this. We'd be here forever.
Yeah.
And keep an eye out. We might start doing some more gameplay streams on YouTube very, very soon. Juliana, thank you for the $5 super chat. I celebrated my birthday last week by seeing The Outsiders on Broadway. Have you ever seen the movie and would you ever do a review?
Let me double check that. Hold on. The Outsiders. Sounds familiar. Maybe not.
Oh, you have it?
No, I think I've heard the title. I don't know anything about. Wow, there's a lot of people.
Yeah, it's good.
All right, I'll try to check it out. Yeah, I don't even know what it's about, so I think that'll be a good mindset to go into it with.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug, a while ago you made a top 11 best movie trailers. You left out the teaser from The Shining where it only shows the Boole elevator with that music, maybe Blood elevator?
Yeah, they made Blood. Yeah, it's like it's clever. I mean, it is a teaser and everything, but I guess it sets a mood. But I don't know. Top 11, top whatever. I don't know. I don't see it that good.
John, thank you for the $5 super chat. Since you've spent more than 10 years reviewing Disney films for Disneycember, have you found your least favorite Disney film of all time?
Man, what would that be? I'm trying to think of ones. I mean, I do talk about the Lion King remake. I talk about Mulan 2. Belle's Magical World's pretty bad. Man, that what was it? Can of Worms? I mean, it's kind of so bad it's fascinating.
Okay.
I know there's other. I'm trying to think of one where I was really angry reviewing it. I'm just totally blanking on it. I don't know. I feel like the ones Planes was pretty bad. Yeah, that's a good handful.
Jacob, thank you for the $10 super chat. Hey Doug, I'm the guy from CGC that gave you, Brad, and Malcolm the tune props. I forgot to ask if you had any suggestions for other tune props that I could make. Who knows? I might give it to you someday too.
Yeah, this guy was really good. I think I posted it on Facebook. He came as Eddie Valiant. He made all these, like a tune mallet, a tune gun, tune dynamite. It was really, really cool.
That's awesome.
Maybe you know what you could do? Maybe the tune gun, but with like the little bullets with the faces on them, the little talking bullets. Or the hole. Maybe you could like cut out just like some black like I don't know, some sort of reflective cloth or something. Maybe the little shoe that gets dipped. Yeah, there's a couple things you could do. That's the nice thing about it. There's a lot of possibilities.
John, thank you for the $10 super chat. Doug, a question about the Batman and Robin review. Was the Bat credit card bit done in one take, or did it take multiple to get it to the final version that we all still enjoy to this day?
I usually do minimum 2 takes. It's very rare that I just go with the first take. I don't remember doing that like a million times. I remember having it pretty well rehearsed. So I think I just did 2 takes for every time it cuts away, like 5 minutes later, and it cuts back to me reacting. There was a cut, but yeah, in between those, I think just always 2 takes at a time, probably.
Case, thank you for the $5 super chat. With the passing of Chris Christopherson, I wanted to ask you, Doug, do you have a favorite Chris Christopherson song? He's an amazing songwriter.
So terrible confession. I know he's a musician. I know he's I know he's done songs and everything. I know I must have heard them. I think he's one of those artists where it's like, I know I've heard his songs. I just don't remember which ones he's done. Let me look up some songs. Maybe I can find some here. Highwayman I remember really liking. I didn't know he did Bobby McGee. Okay. There's 2 right there. Okay.
The fifth, Chris, thank you for the $5 super chat. What do you think of Peter O'Toole as an actor? His performance as Henry II in The Lion in Winter and Beckett are iconic to me.
That's another one where it's like, I know some of his stuff. I sadly haven't seen a lot of it. I've only seen a little bit, but what I've seen, I really, really like. He seems like a guy that just gives it his all, but yeah, no, that's another one. No, what am I talking about? Lawrence of Arabia. He was wonderful in. I saw that because that's always one of those where I'm like, I should see Lawrence of Arabia. Wait, I did. I saw it like several years ago, so I can talk about that one. Yes, he was wonderful in that. It's a great character study, in my opinion.
John Smith, thank you for the $5 super chat. You sure do pick on Hugh Jackman a lot. He's my favorite actor. Do you just like his acting, or are his movies just easy for you to pick on?
I think it's just the movie. I mean, he's a great actor, and he's stupidly charming. I mean, like, just such a likable human being. Yeah, no, I feel like I picked on more actors a lot more than him, honestly. Yeah, I feel like his performances are, even if he's in a bad movie, like, they're usually the best part. He usually does a pretty good job.
Ruben Hall, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have you seen Parasite? It's fun, thrilling, dramatic, and it proved that anyone could enjoy a foreign cinema. A fun movie to see others' reactions to.
I was going to say, fun? Is that the word you would use? It's like, okay, well, that is very true, because so a funny story, we were in California. It was actually the day of the Super Bowl, and it looked like my mother-in-law's team was losing. So we're just like, oh, well, there's no way they can bring it back. So and like my wife, her sister, they can't stand football. So like, let's see this movie, Parasite. It's supposed to be really, really good and everything. And the mother-in-law's like, all right, yeah, I guess there's, I guess they kind of had to convince her. I'm like, I'm fine either way. So I'm driving there. And she's like, so what's the score? And I'm just looking up, oh, you want to know the score? And it turns out they did one of the biggest turnarounds in Super Bowl history, and her team won. So I have a picture of her, like, she's missing like one of the great turnarounds from her team. So we're going to the movie theater, and I got a picture of her. I said, can I get a picture of you just in front of, the poster and everything? So I just have this great picture of her in front of the poster, just going like, looking really pissed off that she's missing it. So that's funny story number 1. Funny story number 2, if you've seen this movie, that's a movie you do not want to watch with your in-laws, and that was a very uncomfortable sit. But they did enjoy it, but I think they enjoyed it more than I did, because I'm just like, this is not what I want to see with my in-laws here.
Kevin Lane, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug, there is such a thing as a bald genius. Have you not ever heard of Professor Charles Xavier? His intellect was surpassed by his wisdom.
He's a cartoon! No. And that's it. I love you couldn't even name like a one in real life. It's like, yeah, no, that's the one. It's the cartoon. I'm sure there's others. Kojak, maybe.
That Broadway chick, thank you for the $10 super chat. Hi, Doug. Would you ever consider doing an old versus new of Carrie from Stephen King? They're my favorite movies, and I love you guys.
Uh, I mean, well, first, I'm not doing many old versus news. Second, I mean, what's to compare? The original's better. The new one's not even like awful. It's just very generic. The one thing I do feel bad about is the casting of Carrie, because I mean, I think everyone said this. Like, this is not the girl to play Carrie. She's supposed to be very plain, very, like people make fun of her all the time, and she's just a very traditional, just fine-looking girl, like just very pretty looking and stuff like that. And that is a problem with the movie. I mean, you'd have to do something with it. She looks like in those really bad like 90s movies, the makeover movies, like the girl before the makeover, even though you can tell she's very clearly beautiful
Yeah.
even beforehand. Like she looks like that. And the performance is fine, but it's like, yeah, they needed someone a lot plainer.
BR37, thank you for the £5 super chat. Have you heard of the British singer Robbie Williams? Even if you haven't, please have a look at his biopic coming out. Interesting to say the least. I saw this right before we went live today. It is very interesting. The choices they've made on his biopic are it's something.
Okay, so I don't know who this is, but I saw the movie advertised. Hold on. I don't know this movie. What's it called? Like Back something? Oh, Better Man. Okay. Wow, I see an interesting thumbnail here. Say the
Is it a
least.
monkey?
It is a monkey.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know who this is, but I'm checking that out.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Heather, in Uncharted, what do you think of Elena and Nathan? Do you think they have good chemistry? Yes and no. I kind of hoped that they didn't necessarily make it in the end, just because they had so much. I mean, you do want to root for them, but also, like, I don't know, their relationship wasn't always the healthiest relationship. I'm always a fan of Chloe. I loved Chloe. Juliana, thank you for the $5 super chat. Would you ever review My Cousin Vinny?
So that's another one I've seen it, but not in order, if that makes sense. It's always on TV. Someone always had it on. So I've seen the whole movie, but I've never sat down and watched the whole thing. I don't know if I'd have enough material. Like, it's fine. It's funny. I just don't think I'd have enough material for it.
Theater Grad, thank you for the 500 bits. When you're not reviewing stuff, watching movies and TV, what do you like to do?
I'm pretty boring, honestly. I I like going to movies, big shock. But I like drawing. I like going for walks. I like boxing. I love playing poker, but I can never find anyone to play the game with, and I also just don't have a ton of time for it. I mean, work does take up a lot of time. I like finding new places to eat. Like I said, I'm 40 now. That's all people in their 40s do. Just find new places to eat.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Heather, what do you think of Deadpool and Wolverine, and would you like to see a Deadpool and Spider-Man crossover? I thought Deadpool and Wolverine was really fun. I had a good time with it. It was great. The music and the music choices, I think, elevated it, like the opening and so towards the climax and all that too. Great music, loved it. I don't think we need a Deadpool and Spider-Man crossover. You know what I mean? Deadpool, obviously, as we saw in Deadpool and Wolverine, can break the fourth wall and invite and involve a whole bunch of other characters in the Marvel universe, but like I don't need a Deadpool and Spider-Man crossover. That's okay. Leave them in their own little universes.
I kind of feel like between the Spider-Verse movies and No Way Home, we already kind of got one because we brought all these other Spider people together and everything. So
Yeah.
it's like I know it's different, but I also don't know do they get along? Do they not get along? I know the Wolverine Deadpool thing, the Deadpool Spider-Man thing. I'm assuming they don't like each other.
I mean, yeah, I don't even know. I think it's funnier to just leave Deadpool, like if you're gonna have him be in a Spider-Man movie, have it be something short and like, oh
Yeah.
man, I'm in the wrong place, and then like leave or something like that.
Yeah, like you can do it. I agree.
Yeah. Have him do something, do a bit, like pop in, be like, oh shoot, wrong universe. Gwen Stacy dies, and then just like leaves, like something like that. I don't know. Kevin Lane, thank you for the $5 super chat. What parallels do you two think there are between Beetlejuice the musical and Hell of a Boss? And hypothetically speaking, would a crossover be good?
I was half and half on the musical. I don't. People either love it or hate it. There's like no in between. I'm one of the few that I'm kind of like. Some things I like, some things I found were pretty annoying. But no, what I like to see, I like to see a crossover between Hell of a Boss and Beetlejuice the cartoon, and maybe just grow it up a little bit because I think that style has, and that must have influenced Hell of a Boss, certainly. So I think that would be more fun.
Yeah. Noah, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug, the PS5 remake of Until Dawn is in a couple of days, and I'm pumped. Such a classic. Can't wait for you to experience it.
I think we have that on the list. I'm making a list of like games to
Yeah.
like, that I haven't played that people want to see me do. So I'm pretty sure I have that on there.
You would enjoy it. You would enjoy it. Also, chat is letting us know that Deadpool and Spider-Man are good friends. Spider-Man is the surrogate uncle to Deadpool's daughter.
Oh, screw me. Okay, maybe I do want to see that because who gets along with Deadpool? What superhero gets along with Deadpool? I'd actually be very curious to check that out. I guess they're both kind of Weisenheimer. They're both wisecrackers, so I guess that kind of makes sense.
Jace, thank you for the $10 super chat. This is part 1 of 3. The kiss in Lightyear wasn't the only reason it bombed. Buzz himself was insufferable and boring, side characters were dumb and annoying, and villain was changed last moment, no longer fitting the story. To be continued.
Oh, yeah. I don't even think the kiss. Who cares? I don't think anyone even cared about that.
I'm sorry, Wilson. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Kraft mac and cheese or Velveeta cheese and shells?
I gotta go with the mac and cheese, but only if they're funny little shapes. Because to figure this out, the regular noodles are okay, but something about when they have like Rugrat shapes or Scooby Doo shapes or something, or SpongeBob, any of that, the cheese distributes differently, and if the texture of the noodle is a little different, it's a little tougher, and it just tastes so much better. For some reason, the cheese mix is better with it. I don't know why. Don't know what the secret, magic combination is, but it's a lot better.
Kevin Lane, thank you for the $5 super chat. I'm just going to reword this a little bit. Newsflash, there is a nonsensical plan to solve California's water crisis, shipping it down from the Rocky Mountains with a, quote, very large faucet, end quote.
Not a large magnifying glass to put on the mountain?
To melt it.
Yeah.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Heather in Vox Machina, what do you think of the leader of the Chroma Conclave, Thordak? Do you think he's a good villain? I do think he's a good villain. I'm curious to see what they're gonna do because did Lance Reddick record any of the stuff for the next season before he passed, or are they gonna try to just get a replacement? Like they had to do that halfway through Kite Man. They got a replacement for Lex Luthor for Lance Reddick. So like I'll be curious to see if then that impacts Thordak at all as a character or how they deal with that and navigate that, So that's more of what I'm concerned with too. R.I.P. Lance.
Lex Luthor wasn't Giancarlo Esposito. I can never say his name right, but I thought that was Lex Luthor in Kite Man.
In Kite Man? No, I'm pretty sure Lex Luthor in the Harley Quinn show, in Harley Quinn is Lance Reddick.
Oh, maybe you're right. I could have sworn it was Esposito. I found out. Is how you say his name. I heard him say it once. I already couldn't say the name originally, but now
Giancarlo Esposito. I am the worst.
Okay. So there you go. So on the plus side, Kite Man, Harley Quinn didn't have to re-record anything.
Yeah. No way. Oh, okay, I don't know. Lance Reddick was roped in to voice the iconic villain, so he was at some point. I don't know, whatever.
Okay, gotcha.
All right. Life happened. Sorry about that, everyone. J Kid, thank you for the $5 super chat. I saw a movie that's Sorry, I'm trying to figure this out. I saw a movie that steal my good called Bufa das Newts. I'm trying to make sure they aren't trying to get me to say something weird.
in German, like a million swear words in German or something.
Right. That's what it says. I don't understand what it means. I'm sorry.
I mean, don't speak German. I'm sorry.
Jace, thank you for the $10 super chat. This is part 2 of 3. It didn't help when Chris Evans said critics of diversity are idiots and should be paid no mind while they cling to past and die off like dinosaurs, all while losing to Jurassic World extinction. So there's
Well,
one
he
more
can
part of this.
he can say that, just not about Lightyear because it was a legit bad movie. I mean, he could have just say that in general, but maybe not. I could be wrong.
Will, thank you for the $5 super chat. Heather, what's a film you loved when you first saw it, but have gradually disliked over time? Oh gosh. I say it like that because I bet like half the movies you see when you're a kid, you remember them
Yeah.
being amazing, and then you're like, oh, never mind. Like my
Mm.
family every year used to watch Babes in Toyland for Christmas that with
Which
like
one? The
little Drew Barrymore and Keanu
oh,
Reeves,
that was awful.
Barnaby, the
Oh, it's
bowling
so
ball.
bad.
We loved it. I loved it. And then like I was like, Lucas, you have to see. Lucas is my husband. I was like, you have to see this movie. You used to watch it every year, and like we always watched your movie, which is Muppets Christmas Carol. We have to watch Babes in Toyland
Exactly the
this year.
same.
You guys, it's so not good. I thought it was a Christmas classic. I had no idea no one else watched this movie every year growing up.
It is entertainingly bad, though. It is very entertaining.
Yeah. Jace, thank you for the $10 super chat. This is part 3 of 3. What's worse, not only did Lightyear lose $106 million, but even the lowest earned Pixar film, Good Dinosaur, made more money. Hell, the crucified Ghostbusters 2016 got $3 million more than Lightyear. Ouch.
It's the fact that they seem to go against everything Lightyear was, which I get they were trying to make it like a different take on the idea, but it was so different and so not interesting. It just felt like it so betrayed what was fun about the idea. I mean, it's a guy, a spaceman flying through space, battling, evil foes and stuff, evil Emperor Zurg, robots and stuff, and he's trapped on one planet. There's not really any aliens, and I guess I won't give it away, but Zurg is not Zurg. It's really lame. So yeah, that's why I didn't like it.
The ultimate Frozen fan, not Frozone. Frozen fan, thank you for the $5 super chat. Will you do NCs for the Sonic movies, or did you say everything in trailer react, sibling rivalry, and Untitled? Mario movie got one, why not Sonic?
I'll do them when they all come out. I know I can't just do the first one because I already tried that once before. People tried to burn me, man, because I wasn't a big fan of the first one, but I didn't hate it. But I like the second one, and the third one looks like fun. So I'll wait till they're like done. If they're like, yeah, that's whatever, that we're stopping at 3, or they're gonna make one more or something like that. And then I'll do them and I'll review them all together.
Sean, thank you for the $10 super chat. For people who think Ferris Bueller is a jerk, Walter, Malcolm, Tamara, and others need to watch St. Elmo's Fire. Even Ferris would be appalled by those characters. At least he's not an adulterer or a stalker.
I mean, I don't mind that character. You think I was not a big Roderick fan, but I get why people do. To me, it's kind of like a Cat in the Hat movie. It's kind of like, you know what, get in a little trouble, enjoy your life. Like sometimes there's always lessons saying to do the opposite. Every once in a while, you just need a little smell the roses, get in a little trouble, kind of thing. That's always what I take out of it.
Jacob, thank you for the $5 super chat. You guys read and answer so many questions. Here's a $5. Take a short break. Thank you.
Thank you.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Doug, do your hocus pocus laugh. Dance, monkey, dance. No. Thank you. Beautiful. Kevin Lane, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug, would you please produce a top 11 a list of the best episodes of the drama series Gotham? Warning, its continuity lessens as the seasons grow.
I mean, I'd have to watch the show, and I already have a million shows to catch up on, so probably not. I do want to see it at some point. I don't know if I'll do a video on it.
Jace, thank you for the $10 super chat. You ragged on Elfman's music during Alice in Wonderland review. Maybe a top 10 list video of Danny Elfman tracks you like. His Batman theme is so iconic, it was used for Batman's intro in Justice League film.
Music gets hit hard on YouTube for copyright claims and stuff like that. I love to. In the old days, I would do like top 11 best themes and stuff like that, but it's interesting how you said tracks, not like soundtracks, like just individual tracks. It would be pretty interesting. I don't know. Mine would probably be Descend into Mystery. I think that music's amazing. But I don't know. Maybe one day I'll just post on like Facebook my personal favorite, because I mean he is. I haven't gotten into his stuff for a while, but I mean he's a huge influence. I adore his early stuff greatly.
Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey, Doug, you and Chaplin posing for Mount Rushmore when you two froze, which I just went to for the first time and had an awesome time. Well, that's great.
Nice. It does need more cats, admittedly.
The Gaming Politician, thank you for the $5 super chat. What do you think of Overlord 2018?
I'm blanking on who that is. Let me see. Overlord. What was it? 2016?
2018.
2018.
Yeah.
The movie I heard this was really good. I never saw it. I completely forgot about it. I gotta check it out because I heard it was a lot of fun.
Kevin Lane, thank you for the $5 super chat. What would you two like to see in future episodes of Has Been Hotel? I'd like to see more character development and less pointless drama or comedy.
I like the drama and comedy fine. I like that hotel explored more. I'd like to see more of the rehabilitation of the characters done. I think the bigger story, the bigger epic story, that should be like the side thing. Like, those epic cartoons where they always have like there's a big epic story, but then there's ones that are more episodic. I like the episodic ones to be trying to transform, rehabilitate characters and the different ways they can do it in that hotel and different rooms and stuff like that. I think that'd be fun.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Fun fact about Back to the Future Part 2. Originally, instead of going back to 1955, Marty and Doc were going to go back to the 60s to stop Biff from changing the timeline where Marty's father, George, would be a professor at a university. That idea had to be scrapped when Crispin Glover wouldn't return.
I did not know that. Interesting.
Ice Luigi, thank you for the $5 super chat. One Pixar sequel needs to go, other than Cars 2. Which one would it be and why?
Let me look up the Pixar sequels on Pixar sequels. Let's go with Toy Story 4. Because I didn't care for that. I didn't like Monsters University. I probably liked less, but at least the lesson was pretty good. And the first one I was already kind of to like where Toy Story 3, that was fine. That was a perfect spot to stop. And then they keep going. They're gonna make another one, and it's like, yeah, that's probably the one.
Maryland Wolves, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey Heather, just asking if you've seen Love Live School Idol Project, and if so, who's your favorite idol? I haven't. It's been like on my periphery, and I've played like a game that involves it, but I haven't sat down and watched it, so I don't know the different idols. I'm sorry.
What's it called again?
Love Live School Idol Project.
Okay, never heard of it.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. What's your worst scene in Casper, and what's your favorite scene in Casper?
Man, what's my favorite? I'm trying to think back because I haven't seen it that often. I guess when you're finding out what happened, I think it was either what's happening to him or what happened to his father when he was alive. I think the way they did that, and I didn't laugh. I was a very cynical teen watching that, man, maybe a little younger than teen, and I was ready to, make fun of it and stuff. And I wasn't laughing at that scene. I took it pretty seriously. I thought that was pretty nicely done. Least favorite? I don't know. Probably the bullies. The bullies are always so boring in those movies. And I thought, that's two very funny comedy writers writing for that movie. I thought at least they would make the bullies a little funnier, but for all we know, maybe that stuff was cut.
Kevin Lane, thank you for the $5 super chat. It said the sound of rain increases productivity based on its rhythms, so I recommend listening to heavy rain ambiance. What about you two?
Huh. I didn't know that. It's when I hear rain, I think like it's the same thing when it gets cold outside or it snows. I think of like staying in and bundling up, watching a movie or something like that. I guess it doesn't distract me from working though. Yeah, I never thought about that.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Have you watched the new season of Family Guy on Hulu yet?
I haven't watched Family Guy in probably a decade. Not because I like despise it or anything. I just fell out of it. The humor wasn't really doing it for me anymore. The same thing with Simpsons. That's not at all to say there can't be funny episodes. I'm sure there are. But it's just there's too many other good things that are more consistently entertaining to me for me to watch.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Which version of Thundercats do you think had the better Mum Ra, the original or the reboot?
I'm trying to remember the reboot. I think I remember liking the character in the reboot a bit more, but I like the design in the original more.
The Iceman, thank you for the $5 super chat. First time catching live. Would you consider reviewing an anime that is only 10 to 13 episodes, like the new Terminator anime? Highly recommend Bakuno.
The only reason why I usually don't is because Japan comes down pretty hard with the copyright claims on their material. They have different laws over there, and that includes anime. We tried to do some animes before, and they have usually. I mean, we fight them, but it's like they really fight tooth and nail for it, and it's not usually worth the headache.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. I meant Futurama. My bad. If you've watched the new Futurama on Hulu.
Gotcha. No, I haven't yet. That makes more sense. I was kind of like Family Guy. I saw the previous season, the previous Hulu one, but I haven't seen the new one. I gotta check it out. It's another one I have on the list. I just haven't gotten around to it yet.
Curtis, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug, have you started watching Penguin yet? It's so good.
Does it have the second episode out? Because I saw the first episode. It was fine. But it's just Sopranos with the Penguin. Like I didn't get too much else out of it. But if the second episode is out and you say it's really good, I guess I'll keep watching it.
Patrick, thank you for the $5 super chat. Will you do Disney-cember on Into the Spider-Verse, Let There Be Carnage, Way of Water, and the remaining Indiana Jones and Alien movies?
So I did the new Alien movie. So that's on there. The others, I don't think I have too much else to say about them. I feel like I've talked about them in other incarnations and got all my thoughts. So probably not.
F Major, thank you for the $5 super chat. Apologies if this has been asked before, but where did the idea of making Philo Barnhart a man-eating monster come from?
I just had to work in some reason he's there. And here's the thing too, that's always a little tricky when you meet someone and you want to use them in a video. At first you gotta say, okay, like just get a feel for what the person's like, how they talk and everything. And then I had to write it in a way where I'm like, okay, just in case they can't act, how can I make this dialogue sound kind of funny or the idea sound kind of funny? Now, thankfully, he could, and he was pretty entertaining. But that was kind of the mindset. I was just like, okay, I just need something. How do I introduce him? What's just a weird thing that's going on in my head that popped in there? And I was just like, hey, listen, it's okay to say no. Are you cool being a creature that lives in the studio that's slowly eating us while you tell your story? It's like, oh my God, that's so original. Yeah, he just loved it. So, yeah, he was totally down.
The Red Dragon, thank you for the $10 super chat. Hey, Doug, can you review Alex Rider Operation Stormbreaker, or known as the original title Stormbreaker that was changed by the Weinsteins?
Never even heard of it.
I didn't even know there was a movie for Stormbreaker. I read the books.
I didn't even know it was a book. Probably not, because I don't think many people would click on it. I want to do a mix of what I like to talk about and what people click on. But I'll at least try to look into it. Yeah, I haven't even heard of the book.
Kevin Lane, thank you for the $5 super chat. If Mother Nature were a real person, like the one played by Aisha Tyler, do you two think she'd have scientific knowledge many millennia ahead of us?
I don't know. It's
I would think so. She would actually know all the creatures at the bottom of the sea, unlike us.
Yeah, she would. She would know what combines to make life and everything. The more I think about it, yeah, that's fun idea. There's an idea there. I kind of dig that.
Maji Dude, thank you for that 21-month subscription over on Twitch. Welcome back. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
There's a Halloween cartoon based on a game series that you might like called Costume Quest. It has Charlie Brown feel, but with supernatural elements. Also, Eerie Indiana show and Psychonauts games are in your wheelhouse, I guarantee, or you can slap me in the face.
A Costume Quest? Is that what it's called?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, never even heard of it. I will try to check it out.
Carter, thank you for the $5 super chat. Since it's Nostalgiaween, Doug, how about you review The Invasion from 2007 already? It was the last theatrical remake of Body Snatchers.
Yeah, I can see that blowing up with clicks. Probably not. I think we tried that one. We couldn't get through it. Like, it wasn't awful, but it just wasn't grabbing us. So A, I don't think many people would watch it, and B, I don't have much of a passion to talk about. I'll say this: I'll try to finish it on its own because I did hear some people say it was good, but yeah, it wasn't grabbing me.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. There's something the directors point out on Paranorman commentary that I really like. At the beginning, Norman and his grandmother are watching a zombie movie, and she asks why don't they just sit down and talk, and later you realize that everything with the zombies would have probably ended sooner if Norman had just stopped and talked to them.
Well, and the witch as well. Yeah, no, I noticed that too.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. When I watched your review of Mrs. Doubtfire and going through personal problems myself, I probably watched Mrs. Doubtfire a lot myself dealing with depression.
I can see that. They again, that's another example of a movie that's you know something is broken apart, but it's not destroyed. And they do point out that it is broken, but they also really do show that togetherness and that they can find a compromise and that something can still very much thrive and be loving. So yeah, they do a pretty good combination of that.
Red Dragon, thank you for the $10 super chat. Please review The Boy with the Striped Pajamas. I want to see your reaction about the tragic ending.
Ugh. I mean, I know what it's about. I'm assuming that's going to be a pretty major downer. Something's going around. I think maybe it was an Oni thing, or maybe it's just something else. I don't know. But like Nostalgia Critic reviews Boy in the Striped Pajamas. And I think, again, it's kind of like reviewing Schindler's List or something, just something I clearly wouldn't review because it's way too heavy. So probably not. I will leave that to the memes. They can review it for me.
Shouting Joker, thank you for the 500 bits. I damaged my car today, but thankfully seeing you guys lightened me up a bit. Well, good.
I'm sorry.
Bring a smile
Yeah, I hope
to
it
your
gets
face.
better. Yeah.
That sucks.
Wait, that was good. That covered both. Just, I'm sorry. Oh, thank you. I hope that gets better. Glad we can bring a smile to your face. So we covered all the bases. Perfect.
We just talked right over each other, but it worked out perfectly.
And said almost the opposite, but the same thing somehow.
Will, thank you for the $5 super chat. Thoughts on the show House? Accent aside, I still thought Hugh Laurie was great.
I'm sure you're right. And it's totally a stupid personal thing. I just can't watch it. I can't get past the accent. I can't. I grew up with him. I mean, as a kid, I grew up with him with that British accent, that great British accent, British comedies and everything, and being so gosh darn over the top, twilly up, twilly down, whoop whoop, twilly dee. I mean, like, I can't take him seriously as House. I've heard people say it's good and the mysteries are good and fun and it's a fun character and everything, but I just can't. I'm sorry.
Maggie, thank you for the $5 super chat. If I wanted to watch a courtroom drama where part of the setting is inside a jail with musical numbers, I'd watch Chicago.
I do make that comparison a lot. I thought Chicago combined the musical number and what a circus it is, and the exploitive nature of it so much better. So yeah, I agree.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. What's your favorite Ferris Bueller's Day Off scene?
Let me see. I'm trying to think what. I guess when I was a kid, I really loved when the secretary comes in and tells the principal that he has in fact been talking to the father that whole time, and that great track in on his face. Ferris Bueller's on line 2 and that great track in and the music. I thought that was so funny when I was a kid. Because I love those moments when somebody realizes I had just made a complete ass of themselves for a long time, and then they realize they screwed up, and that just that great zoom in. Those moments I'm a sucker for.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Have either of you seen a Nickelodeon show from the 90s called The Secret World of Alex Mack?
I know what it is. I know a lot of people liked it, but I never saw it, sadly.
I only watched like a couple episodes. John, thank you for the $5 super chat. On a completely different note, have you been to any U.S. national parks? If so, what's your favorite?
What I've been to, is it Yellowstone? Is that what it's called?
Yellowstone is beautiful. I've been to Yellowstone.
Yeah, Yellowstone's really cool. I'm sure I've been to others. I used to live in Bothell, Washington, where they had a lot of amazing parks around there. But I'm sure there's others. But Yellowstone is the most recent one I've been to. So that's the one that's freshest on my brain.
Yellowstone's probably my favorite for sure.
Mm.
Hana Joker, thank you for the 500 bits. Pop quiz, my friend, for another 100 bits. Which movie has both Nicolas Cage and Jim Carrey?
Peggy Sue got married.
Ding, ding, ding. That is correct.
Oh, man, 100 bits.
Jeremy, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hi, Doug. Are you watching Only Murders in the Building? It's really good. Possible for Disney December when it ends?
Maybe they would give me an excuse to watch it because I've seen the first season and I liked it, but I'm one of those that thought it was kind of fine as a perfectly contained thing. But obviously they do have it to be continued at the end. But I was fine after that. But then I do hear they're still pretty good. I think we started the second season, we just weren't getting into it. But everyone says it's really, really good, so we should give it a shot. I mean, it's like the fourth season, something like that.
Yeah,
It's
I think
going
it's
on.
fourth.
So, so I should give it a shot.
Alexander, thank you for the 500 bits. Earlier this year, Doug, I recommended you to Jesus Christ, Heather. Karloff Lugosi horror films, The Black Cat and The Body Snatcher. Since we're close to Halloween, I just wanted to see if you've checked them out yet.
No, right, because I know I've definitely actually both of them. I think I saw James review them, and he was saying they were really, really good. So I should let me write those down. That's probably really good. The Black Cat and The Body Snatcher, correct?
Correct.
All right, yeah, I'll check those out.
John, thank you for the $10 super chat. Here's a difficult choice of the Adam Sandler collaborators whose entire filmography would you watch without any breaks? Rob Schneider, David Spade, Kevin James, or Nick Swardson?
I know Nick Swardson. Was it Kevin Spade? Well, no, not David Spade.
David Spade.
Probably David Spade. Sometimes he can get a laugh out of me. I'm not the biggest fan of his, but it's like I can tolerate him.
John, thank you for the $10 super chat. Doug, I can't help but say you, in my opinion, have the most hilarious scream. I mean, your screaming in the Willy's Wonderland review and the Teddy Ruxpin Halloween episode, just priceless.
Thanks. Yeah, it's harder and harder to do, man. Yeah, I have to really I don't know, my voice has to be really clear, like no gunk in there at all, because that's like the most I can get right now.
Jace, thank you for the $5 super chat. You legit blew my mind with the Rock'em Sock'em Killer Clowns toy idea with Shorty and the biker guy. How has Spirit Halloween not made that yet? Let's go!
Well, let's get to it, man. Maybe next year it'll be in the Killer Clown section.
The Red Dragon, thank you for the $20 super chat. Doug, I have a question. What happened to Chris Stuckman after since made a video of Madam Web that he took the blame studio and the filmmakers don't deserve it? So have you thought of talking to him?
Nah, you'll have to ask him.
Yeah. JL, thank you for the 500 bits. The Lois and Clark Adventures of Superman was fine, and Sean Ashmore's Jimmy Olsen on Smallville is really good.
Okay. I tried the Adventures of Superman. I think I asked before. I was like, does that character get better? Because I guess I never found a good Jimmy Olsen. But again, I forgot about the animated series. I never did see Smallville. So you're probably right.
A. Incarnati, thank you for the 500 bits. Thoughts on the first 2 episodes of The Penguin?
So I haven't seen the second one. First one's fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just exactly what you think it's gonna be. So I probably will check out the second one because somebody before said, "Hey, it's really good." So I'll probably give it a watch.
Shouting Joker, thank you for the 500 bits. Have you ever seen the live Broadway musical of Moulin Rouge? What are your thoughts on that since you don't like the movie?
No, I bet I would like it as a stage show. I bet it'd be pretty cool. There are some productions where I acknowledge, no, this belongs on stage. I'm sure if I saw Newsies on stage,
Newsies on stage is so much better.
I feel like that's where it belongs.
And I love the movie Newsies.
So, no, there's definitely some productions where it's I could see this totally at home on stage. But no, I have not seen it.
Will, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have either of you seen Boys in the Hood? And if so, what are your thoughts? It's a powerful story with some great acting by Ice Cube and Cuba Gooding Jr.
Oh, it's very, very good. Yeah. Yeah, what can you even say about it? I mean, it's so self-explanatory why it's good. I'll say that it's cool seeing nowadays, I bet if you watch, it'll be really cool to see all of them just so much younger. I mean, they're really young in there, which is kind of cool to see. But I mean, it's very straightforward why it's good. I mean, I feel like most people have seen it, but maybe that was like a generational thing for me. But I feel like I still hear people talk about it.
Miko, thank you for all the gifted subs over there on Twitch. Appreciate that. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Will, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have either of you seen Boys in the Hood? And if so, what are your thoughts? It's a powerful story with some great acting by Ice Cube. And oh, did I read that?
You did.
Okay, great. Sorry, I got distracted. Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Who do you think gave a better vocal performance this year? Lupita Nyong'o in Wild Robot or Amy Poehler in Inside Out 2?
Probably. I have a terrible time saying her name. How do you say it, the first one?
Lupita Nyong'o.
Her. I think. Well, especially because Poehler already played Joy before, and she does it great again. But I feel like creating that character in Wild Robot, and again, I really like the transition from "I am here to perform a service" to really forming some legit emotions, and it felt very, very natural the way it happened. It wasn't just the robot learned, just discovered love or something. It's like, no, some parts were missing and they had to be replaced, and she plays it that way. And I thought that was very, very smart. That was smart writing, and that was very smart acting as well.
Miko, you're going wild over there on Twitch right now. Thank you.
Oh, wow. Holy smokes. Yeah, I just looked over. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Zagard, thank you for that subscription over on Twitch. Welcome, appreciate that. JL, thank you for the 500 bits. What's your favorite Mrs. Doubtfire quote?
There was one I was trying to remember. I was just like, that is, oh yeah, hot flashes. That is way too good a line. Like, it doesn't feel for the scenario. It's just like, no, that either a writer had to sit down and really think about that for like hours, or Robin Williams thought it up in like a millisecond. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
It's one of those, like, it's such gold. It's such a clever line.
Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. What's worse, Mulan remake or Mulan 2?
That's rough because Mulan 2 is so poorly put together, but I just like watching animation, and then the remake's so poorly put together, but I like the scenery. Maybe I'll say Mulan 2 just because it's a little bit more fascinating how bad it is. You can kind of laugh at when the animation goes really, really bad, and it's shorter. So I guess I'd rather watch that.
Headshot, thank you for the $5 super chat. You probably didn't know this, but there is a Robin DLC in Batman Arkham City that you should play before your next Batman Arkham game.
All right. Keep that in mind.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Did you watch Balto during the lockdown? Because I did.
What a specific movie. No, I reviewed it, and it was before the lockdown.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Do you think they should do Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man and Deadpool's Wolverine?
Wait. Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man and Deadpool's Wolverine? Like combined or just their own movies?
I don't know. I guess. I'm not sure.
Yes, it'd be amazing.
Will, thank you for the $5 super chat. I know you talked briefly of it, but would you consider reviewing Looney Tunes back in action? I think it's underrated, plus Steve Martin is hilarious.
I talk about it a little bit when I have a video where I review all the Looney Tunes movies, and I talk about it there. I feel like I kind of got my thoughts out there. I don't know if I need to go into too much more detail. What's his name? Royal Ocean Film Society. I think he did a really good video about it. It called something like Joe Dante Can't Catch a Break or something like that. And he talks about the making of that movie. If you look up his channel and type in Looney Tunes Back in Action, he does a really good video on it.
Christian, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug, you now have to choose one of these three iconic DreamWorks franchises to be erased from existing. Kung Fu Panda, Dragon, or Shrek. One has to go. The whole franchise has to go.
The whole franchise has to go. Honestly, even though it has one of my favorite comedies of all time, probably Shrek.
Yeah, let's go.
Just because, it's one phenomenal movie, and then good moments in the rest of them, where it's like How to Train Your Dragon. I mean, those are legit good movies, and the Kung Fu Panda movies are legit good movies. Like 4's a little weak, but I mean, it's still fine. Where when Shrek gets bad, it's pretty annoyingly bad.
John, thank you for the $5 super chat. What are your thoughts on the Netflix show Big Mouth? I personally loathe it and wonder why people like it.
I'll say this. When I started it, I didn't like it either. I thought it was really bad. But my wife kept watching it. and it does get better, and it gets smarter, and it's actually very well put together. And then it starts to get bad again. I say probably around like I don't know how many seasons it is, but maybe 2 and 3, like maybe 4, maybe I can't remember if that's where it started to get bad. But it has a very clear ending at one point. The cartoon character meets the creator, and it's like, okay, this is where it should stop. And then they kept going for some reason. And the last season I saw really wasn't that good. If you don't like that, watch the first season of oh, what's it called? It's the oh, it's a spinoff of it too. It's like the Emotion Monsters or whatever. I'll
Oh,
look
I'm
it up
not
while
sure.
ah,
Human resources?
the
Chat is
Human
saying?
Resources.
There we go.
Yes,
Thanks, chat.
the first season of that is very very good. Second season not so much. So I guess inevitably. They live long enough to become the villain, but I would say if you watch the first season or the first few episodes and didn't like it, maybe start season 2. It does get better. It might have some stuff in there you enjoy because when it is good, is very good. But you're right, when it's bad, it's pretty bad.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Steve Jobs was bald, to be fair.
Was he?
I don't know.
Huh.
Captain John, thank you for the 500 bits. Ever thought about making a Letterboxd account? It's a really fun app where you get to log and watch movies. You should check it out.
I think someone brought it up before. I haven't had a chance to look into it though. I'll look into it at some point.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. I guess the Jungle Book 2016 movie will not be getting a sequel since the kid is probably all grown up now, and what else would they do for the character?
It's a good point. I mean, I guess you could have him just grow up in the jungle. It's, ugh, I don't know. I don't need any more live action Disney remakes, sequels, reboots, any of that.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Which holiday movies do you watch the most during Christmas time?
Uh, there's a couple, that they switch because there's some that I always put on, and finally I watched them too many times and I stopped. But the ones I still watch a lot: Arthur Christmas, I watch a lot. Christmas Vacation, I watch a lot. The George C. Scott Christmas Carol, I always put on. Yeah, others I'll kind of have on in the background. I'll have like Ernest Saves Christmas in the background or the original Grinch in the background. I'll just kind of watch them in passing, kind of thing. Because again, I could just almost say every line from them.
Ruben, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have you seen Babylon? It's like the drug dealer cousin of La La Land from the same director. One of the most largely gross and grimy films in a while.
Not yet. I do want to see it. It's another one of those where it's like I can never find time to watch it because every once in a while you find a movie where it's like you can watch with your significant other, and then there's one where it's like, no, she wouldn't like that kind of thing. So you tried to make the time for it, but I haven't had a chance to yet.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Will you review the Back to the Future movies for October?
I did, but it wasn't in October. It was in whatever month it was a couple years ago. Yeah, I did them all together.
Alexander, thank you for the 500 bits. I know Tim Burton doesn't have the best track record when it comes to remakes, though I am a little intrigued by him being attached to an upcoming reboot of Attack of the 50-Foot Woman. What are your thoughts?
I don't know. I mean, again, he loved all those B movies and stuff, so I'm sure he'd. What's he gonna bring to it though? It's really gonna be that unique. I don't know. I'm not seeing anything that great unless there's a really good script attached to it. But for him, that usually doesn't matter. He just has a very clear vision, and that's kind of it. He doesn't care what's in the script. So I don't know. I don't see much to it, but I could be wrong.
Asia Starley Adams, thank you for the $10 super chat. Hey, Critic, longtime fan. I listen to your playlist as I go to sleep every night. Question: I've noticed that Malcolm and Tamara haven't been in very many episodes lately. Is there a reason?
I hate them. No. So I did. I got a big laugh out of you.
I don't know why
So
that
we-
really got me, but you're very deadpan. I hate them. Just really, it sent me.
No, I did get the fatigue did knock me out about a week ago, so I had a couple editorial reviews back to back. I felt bad, like I said, I'm sorry, I have to cancel this. I don't have time to write the script and everything, so I'll just do some short ones. Tamara's opening herself up to like other performances and acting gigs and stuff like that, and pretty much said, if you need me for like Hyper or something like that, I'll come by for that. But yeah, I'm more just like as needed basis, which is totally fine. We definitely don't want to hold her back or anything like that. But yeah, she's not gone. It's just I haven't had a need for like her oh, what's her name, Aunt Despair or anything like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, Malcolm's still around, Heather's still around, and stuff like that. Like I said, just the past couple, I couldn't get the casting because I had one that I was gonna write the script for, and then the fatigue just knocked me out for like an entire day.
Ruben, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey guys, I'm going on a religious mission for 2 years, so I can't attend your streams for a while. Just want to thank you for all the good times. Well,
Oh
good
well,
luck.
yeah, all our best luck to you, man. Yeah, that's I hear they're very fulfilling. So yeah, I hope you really get the most that you can out of it, man. So yeah, just all the best to you.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. What's your favorite between Goliath and Xanatos and Gargoyles?
I think Xanatos. He's just so cool. He's such an awesome villain. But it's close. Goliath's a very good lead. He's written very well and he's acted very, very well.
Adam, thank you for the $5 super chat. Which of these characters do you think is the most badass? Blade, Prowler, Black Panther, or War Machine?
Blade. He just has the cool. When I just think cool, like a cool sound, like when that, even when the trailer came out, I'm like, who's that cool mother? You know what I mean? I was just
Yeah.
like, I gotta see this. This can't not be good.
Sorry, my thing freaked out for a second. There we
Oh
are.
no.
Stead, thank you for the $10 super chat. Appreciate
Thank you.
that. No message, just the chat.
Thank
Adam,
you.
thank you for the $5 super chat. If you could have any superpower you want, what would it be?
Probably change into anything. Because then I could, I could look like A1, I could get wings, I could fly, I could grab onto say, it's like, I want to be Spider-Man today. Boom, I'm Spider-Man. I can fling around and say, like that'd be pretty cool.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Heather, which Vox Machina character do you like more, Percy or Vax? I'm gonna go with Vax. I liked Percy, but Percy gets like really broody, and that's saying a lot for me because I love a good broody anime type guy,
Yeah.
and Percy gets a little bit much for me sometimes. So I'm gonna go with Vax.
That's a lot of brooding then.
It's a lot of brooding. Stead, thank you for the $10 super chat. Hiya, Doug. Got a question. I was watching DreamWorksuary and was wondering if your thoughts on Madagascar remain the same. I'll say, as a little kid, it was one of me and my parents' favorites.
Yeah, that's a series of movies that actually does get better and better the more it goes along. I think I remember the first one being okay. Second one was surprisingly really good. And then the third one's great. Like it's legit really great. It's very funny. It's emotional. The visuals are wonderful in it. Yeah, no, I was the villain's really, really funny. Yeah, no, I'm surprised how well done it was.
Delos, thank you for the $5 super chat. I'm not sure if this is a reference to something for you, Doug, but I'm not sure I understand it. Congratulations on keeping my Kroger cup at the Cleveland Gaming Classic live from the Apollo Theater.
I'm blanking, man. I'm sorry.
Adam, thank you for the $5 super chat. How awesome would it be if they ever made a Batman and Spider-Man crossover where they team up against Joker and Green Goblin, who have also teamed up?
I wouldn't mind seeing them like combine like Spider-Bat and Green Joker. Like, cause like the combining the costumes and the powers and everything, I think that'd be kind of cool.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. What's your favorite scene in Spider-Man 1 and your least favorite scene?
Favorite scene? It's gonna sound kind of lame. I actually really like the opening credits. I like the music. I remember seeing that on the big screen and kind of thinking like, this is cool. This is really neat. Least favorite. I'm trying to think of. There are a lot of. Again, when I first saw it, I was like Heather. I was just like, this isn't Spider-Man. This isn't me. Now I've learned to appreciate it, especially with all the superhero movies. Now I've learned to appreciate it more. But either the "I hunch" line or "It's you who's out, Gabby, out of your mind." It's just so bad.
Headshot, thank you for the $5 super chat. As a critic, what's one thing you would like the upcoming Disney movies to have that you believe would make them good? Like Terminator 2 good.
Some what's the not inspire, not influence. What am I looking for? Innovate. Some form of innovation that combined with just good storytelling. I mean, just keep it simple. Honestly, what I like to see, and I don't even know if they can now because they've tried so hard to destroy it. I like to see a Disney movie that goes back to just pure emotional storytelling. Like something like Snow White or Wizard of Oz. really, really tapped into, where logic is just completely out the window and it only focuses on what your emotions want to see. Parts of Fantasia did that as well, and I thought Disney was so good when they focused on that. And they're good doing other stuff. Like Inside Out, it's literally focusing on emotions. But it's much more analytical and much more technical, but they do it very, very well. But yeah, that's something I think they really miss with the remakes. They're taking it way too literal, and I think they're missing that they're fairy tales and they're supposed to be driven by emotion, not logic. And I think they're trying so hard to push back against like backlash that maybe they got before by other people that maybe take it too late. There are legit problems in past Disney films. I'm not gonna say there aren't, but yeah, I think some of the ones that really stand out as classics, they stand out because it is what our emotions want to see, and I think it's a legit form of art.
Tiffio, thank you for the $5 super chat. I may not have a chance of getting this question answered. Didn't Doug hate Mulan too?
Yeah, I did. But it was compared, is it Mulan the remake or Mulan 2, which one, whatever, if you're talking about the question before. But yeah, they're both really bad.
Will, thank you for the $5 super chat. Since you did Great Mouse Detective, would you maybe review Oliver and Company? It's not a classic, but I have a soft spot for it. Also, Billy Joel. I love Oliver and Company.
When I saw it, I remember it's like, it's all right, I guess. And then I saw it again years later for Disney December. It's like exactly the same. Like, it's all right, I guess. I do love that song. The Why Should I Worry? That's a legit really great song.
It is.
But yeah, I don't think I have much to say about it. I don't think I could bring much to it.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Are you reviewing the Blue Sky Films Epic for Disney December?
At some point, so it's not this Disney December. It'll probably be the next one. I do have it on the list for next year.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. How do you feel about Netflix rebooting the Narnia movies into a TV series and recasting all the characters from the Disney movies? I think it's going to make a better TV series than a movie series. Honestly, there's so much detail in Narnia.
Yeah, it's weird. It is. There is and there isn't. The way they're written is very simple. But if you're going to do it as a narrative, like something you watch, you're right. You need to put a lot more in there. Like the first movie did to some extent. I'll say this because you're right. There is technically a lot going on. A TV series, you could expand on the characters a little bit more. I always feel like, was it Will? Is that the oldest? And Susan, like they're always pretty bland. And I feel like if you have a series to really flesh them out a little bit more, that would be very helpful.
Austin, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey, Doug, what do you think of the live-action Lilo and Stitch? Me watching it rode on Stitch's design, and it looks pretty good.
Yeah, it looks fine. There's not one I've liked yet. But again, there's some that have come close. Cruella came close, and Pete's Dragon came close. I think at some point I even said I kind of liked them, but then I watched them again. I'm like, I still don't think these work. But I think the original movie's fine. I don't know if there's really that much to add or change up. So I guess we'll see. But I'm not like, I'm gonna hate it, but I'm not really excited for it either.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. What did you think of the scene in Scary Movie 2 with the bird bad-mouthing the characters?
I never saw Scary Movie 2. I just heard it was so bad. I mean, nobody I knew liked it, so I just avoided it. I heard 3 had some good moments, though, so I saw that.
Ghetto Jesus, thank you for the $5 super chat. Recommendations for Halloween game streams: Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights, Resident Evil, Medieval, and are you playing Epic Mickey Remake?
I am, right now.
Yeah, indeed. Alexander, thank you for the 500 bits. Top 3 favorite animated Halloween TV episodes ever.
Oh man. Simpsons Halloween's gotta be on there. Other one. I mean, does Garfield count? I kind of have a soft spot for that. I don't know how.
Not.
I don't know how good it is, but I like it. I have a soft spot for it. What else? I have a soft spot for that. Was it the pumpkin that couldn't smile, the old Raggedy Ann Chuck Jones cartoon? I really like that. That's got a lot of nice fall imagery in there.
Mustard Man, thank you for the 500 bits. Another successful visit to Universal's Halloween event this year. Insidious delivered the intense scares you'd expect, and Ghostbusters Frozen Empire was a great tribute for the 40th anniversary, but A Quiet Place stunned with its use of animatronics and sound design.
Cool. I think I saw the Frozen Empire one on a YouTube video, and it looked really good. Yeah, I'm always impressed by those walkthroughs. The efficiency they have to just have people just literally go in a line. They don't have to break them up into groups. That is so smart, and you save so much time going that way. And they can still get some scares in there. I mean, not like how I think people would prefer it, where you do go in a group or one at a time. But yeah, when you're at a theme park, you kind of know that you're gonna have to change the rules a little bit. And I think they work with that very smartly.
Miko, you're going wild over there.
Man,
Thank you.
look at that. Wow, man, so kind. Thank you.
Adam, thank you for the $5 super chat. Who would you have been a character you would have loved to see come back in Deadpool and Wolverine? For me, it's James Marsden Cyclops.
Man, I don't know. I'm trying to think of like, like something that like I've always wanted to see maybe in the X-Men movie, and maybe like a more comic accurate Rogue would be cool. But I don't know. Would you still get Anna Paquin to play her? I don't know. Oh, you know what? Psylocke from Apocalypse, and actually make her like a good guy. Like have fun with that, because she kind of got the shaft, and that's always. I love Psylocke. I always feel like she doesn't get enough attention. So I thought that'd be a cool thing to bring in there, because they're all characters that didn't really have a satisfactory ending. So I think that'd be a fun one to work in.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Which Robin Williams role do you prefer? Hook, Patch Adams, or Mrs. Doubtfire?
Definitely not Patch Adams. I did not like that movie. Honestly, I feel like the idea behind Hook is pretty interesting, of like Peter Pan repressing his memories. I thought he played it very, very well. And he became too much a grown-up. It's like he's almost like he's making up for lost time being an adult, and he just leaned too hard the other direction. I find all that really fascinating. But when he becomes a kid, he's a little annoying at the end. So the one that's probably played the best is...
Oh no. Doug, we need you. Come back. I hate when this happens. It does take a little bit longer to over Discord. We lost him. Just happens with the internet sometimes. This isn't as good as a freeze frame as the Chaplin one was earlier, you know? This one isn't as good. But that's okay. It's still not as good as last week's Nightmare Fuel. In case you weren't here last week, Doug froze mid-blink, and so you could kind of see his eyes peeking through. That one was Nightmare Fuel. That one was terrible. So at least we don't have that, you know? Go over the rules again, Brian. It's fine. Just go over the rules again. It'll be great, you know?
We meet again, Heather.
Did you time that on? How did you know that you were coming back at that exact moment, Doug?
No, you know what? I think I'm just going to do it, because I'm so sick of this thing happening all the time. Just every time I freeze up and I see it's frozen, I'm just going to grab like some other random thing just to give you at least something when we come back.
Oh my God, that was perfect. I loved that. That was amazing. Oh, Revolution, thank you for that subscription over on Twitch. Welcome, appreciate that. Adam, thank you for the $5 super chat. Question for both of you. Least favorite MCU character? For me, it's Ironheart and Ant-Man's daughter from the third movie.
Kat Dennings, whatever the name of that character was. Oh, she just killed them. I mean, it already wasn't that great a movie, but she just strangled it.
I think I'd agree. Yeah, Darcy. I think I'd agree. Obro Productions, thank you for the $5 super chat. Happy Spooktober. I've said this last year, but I highly recommend I'm gonna mess this up. Frankelda's Book of Spooks. Only 5 15-minute episodes and a prequel film is coming.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know about the film. So I did see some of them. I don't think I finished all of them, but I liked them. I love the animation style, love the creativity of them. Yeah, I enjoy them quite a bit.
Thank you, Miko.
Man, still going. Holy smokes.
Right? Still going.
Still kind.
Going. Wild. JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Have you seen a Nickelodeon show called Space Cases? It starred Walter Jones from Power Rangers, and it was created by the Will Robertson from Lost Space.
That's another one I've heard of, but I've never seen. Again, I seem to recall people liking it back in the day. I never heard anyone bring it up again until you.
Miko, thank you for that gifted sub. We're going to hear a lot of that. Haunted Joker, thank you for the 600 bits. One thing I can't get about Aladdin, did the genie really make him a prince? If he didn't, plot hole. If he did, then why the new name? Where was his kingdom? Was the audience supposed to believe along with Aladdin that he wasn't a prince? P.S. I added an extra 100 bits for the Peggy Sue got married thing.
Thank you. And again, that's the emotional storytelling thing. Fairy tale, not really supposed to care.
Adam,
But it does make for great comedy pointing that stuff out. I won't lie.
right, exactly. Just don't think about it too hard.
Yeah.
Adam, thank you for the $5 super chat. Question for both of you. Least favorite third act breakup? For me, it's the My Little Pony movie.
Man, I do hate those. They're so lame. I'm happy to say I don't see them much anymore. I think
Good.
people finally got tired of them, but
Mhm.
so yeah, now I'm blanking on the ones
I
where I was
can't
just
think
like,
of
oh
any
come on.
either.
I was liking Wedding Crashers until they got to the stupid breakup, and I'm just saying, okay. And then the sourpuss jerk, it's just a sourpuss jerk. He's not funny. They have to mope and dope. And I was liking this fine until we got to this point.
Emmy, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have you seen the movie Smile? And if so, would you do a critic review?
I don't think I'll do a critic review. I did a Doug reviews on it, just a little vlog review. I liked it until the end. I thought the end, even though it was scary, it was definitely scary. It really went against the idea of the movie. I thought it just completely stabbed itself in the back. I felt like, and I know what it's trying to do because it's trying to do the nobody's safe horror film trope, which I get, but it's trying so hard to force this idea and this message in your face that when it got to the ending, I'm like, well, you just totally, you know, backstab that. I felt like, but it was effective. It was creative. It was creepy. So I guess it worked on that level.
Alexander, thank you for the 500 bits. Top 3 favorite Clancy Brown performances.
Uh, so I know who he is. I know the voice, especially. But I'd have to look up. One say he was in Highlander. I didn't know that. He was in Starship Troopers. What? See, this is the problem. I didn't. That's right. I do know he was in Shawshank.
He's
Man.
always Mr. Krabs to me.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's so funny because that's the one that I usually forget. He's Mr. Krabs because his voice is so distinct and so booming that whenever I hear, oh yeah, he's Mr. Krabs, like, oh yeah, and he can do that too. And you gotta wonder how he feels about that. Just like, I have this, great Shakespearean voice and everything, but everyone remembers me for going, "Gah, gah, 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 gah." Yeah, I don't know. I'll say Mr. Krabs too. I don't know. He just does so much.
Miko, thank you for the 300 bits to gigantify the emote. And it's very cute. Your emotes are very cute.
Oh, it's adorable.
Yeah. Alexander, thank you. Oh, I just read that. Sorry. Miko, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. And Ratatouille, what do you think of the fact that the cooks never come back after walking out on Linguini?
That's a good point. I never thought about that. Yeah, you don't know if he ever hires them back or anything like that. I mean, I like movies that do that when something bad happens. If they stick with it and you just accept, yeah, that's part of life, Again, I kind of like the Wild Robot taps into some of that. So yeah, I dig that. That's life. That's how it works sometimes.
Miko, thank you for the 400 bits for the on-screen celebration. And thank you for 5 more gifted subs. We're getting to the section where now we're just going to say thank you for the gifted subs quite a bit.
Thank you so much.
You're not, I know you keep saying sorry. No, we appreciate it. And I want to make sure we thank you. Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hate to address an elephant in the room, but isn't it ironic that in Kickassia you banished Brad, but in reality, he's the one you still talk to nowadays?
He's a good guy. Sometimes art doesn't imitate fiction, or other way around, reality.
Alex loves musicals. Thank you for the 500 bits. Newsies on Stage is so good. I think you'd really enjoy the pro shot. It's on Disney Plus. It is.
Yeah, that's another one I always have on the Disney December list, and then I always push it because something else always pops up. I'll watch it at some point.
Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have you seen John Wayne's last movie, The Shootist?
I don't think so. No, I don't even recognize the title, so it's a definite no.
Miko, thank you for the 10 gifted subs. Miko,
Thank you
thank you
again.
for the 5 gifted subs.
Thank you.
Will, thank you for the $5 super chat. Which Oscar winning role do you like better and why? Jamie Foxx in Ray, Will Smith in King Richard, or Denzel Washington in Training Day?
So I didn't see King Richard. Boy, let me think. So that's between Training Day and Ray. I guess I remember Training Day more. Like I definitely because it was definitely a bigger performance. But there was like an excitement to Jamie Foxx playing Ray because I always thought he was a good actor and he had this great chemistry and everything. So when you see him play, just I remember when the preview first came out, I was like, oh, that's gonna be good. Like he's gonna be great. Like you just know he's gonna nail that and do such a good job. So maybe I'll say that because I mean he did a great job, and I think just when I think of that performance, I do kind of get that excitement of like, ooh, this is his moment, this is it, kind of thing. So I remember getting pretty excited for that.
Adam, thank you for the $5 super chat. Who do you think should have played Lex Luthor in Batman v Superman instead of Jesse Eisenberg? I was thinking either Jason Statham or Tom Hardy.
Statham, I don't know if I'm sure he played it fine, but I don't know if I go that Hardy. Hardy, I can see. He'd have to try something a little different, but I could see him do. I mean, the one everybody goes to is Bryan Cranston, and I tend to agree. I think he would have done that pretty great. I'm sure there's others too, but yeah, I think he would have been pretty cool. Or Billy Zane, that'd be cool.
Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. Favorite Naked Gun scene/line?
In all the movies or just the first one? I guess it says Naked Gun, so it doesn't say movies. Scene lines. I think I like the when they're doing a car chase, but it's a student driver. So I mean, it's like follow that car. All right, put in drive. Put your hand on the wheel. Put 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. I like that. I thought that was pretty funny. I'm sure there's funnier scenes, but that was really great.
Miko, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Miko, thank you for
Thank you.
5 more gifted subs.
Thank you again.
Adam, thank you for the $5 super chat. For old time's sake, back credit card.
Old time, small time. I still get that a lot.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. In Arthur Christmas, what do you think of the scene where Arthur and his family watch Gwen open her present?
Oh, that's a lovely scene. I don't know, maybe because I know people like this. I've had family members like this. I love when the father's trying to pretty much tell him that he loves him, he respects him and stuff, and, but he says, in my day, walnut and a pat on the back went a long way. And that's just, I love that moment.
Media Ghost, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey, Doug, wanted to say hi and thoughts on doing a top 11 Simpsons Treehouse of Horror episodes.
Maybe. I mean, I will say this. I haven't seen the show in a really, really long time, so I've missed the past several, but I'm assuming the best are still, back in, back in the earlier seasons. Maybe I should. That probably get views. I think people would like that. Yeah, I might put that down.
Miko, thank you for 5 more gifted subs. Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Sorry, I meant favorite moment between Goliath and Xanatos.
Oh, gotcha. Favorite moment. There's a great line. I can't remember the exact episode. But I think Xanatos manipulates Goliath in a way. I think he's like trying to save like his fiance or something like that, and he uses Goliath to save her. And he says, he's like, your soft side. I always knew that was your weakness. And Goliath says, only you would see love as a weakness. What a great line.
Oopus, thank you for the 50 DKK through Super Chat. Do you have any interest in historical movies? And if so, which ones stick with you the most?
For whatever reason, John Adams really sticks with me. I know it's a mini series, but that one sticks with me. Patton really sticks with me. I mean, I guess
1917.
I still gotta see that. That's what. In fact, let me double check, make sure it's on my list of movies to watch because I got some time coming up in January, and that's one where I'm like, yeah, everyone says it's amazing. I gotta put that down there. Paths of Glory is very good. Although I guess that's technically fiction. That didn't technically happen. Yeah, I think those are good. The ones I brought up.
Adam, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have you ever played Assassin's Creed?
No, that's one of the ones we have on the list for when we put it up for people to vote about what the next game is going to be. Because yeah, I've always heard good stuff about that.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. And Arthur Christmas, what's your favorite obstacle Arthur encounters on his journey?
Himself. No, let me think. Obstacle. I really like at the end when all three of them are rushing towards the house and the elves are watching and they're cheering on and stuff, and he's riding the bike, and then the other elf has to somehow wrap the bike while he's riding it at the same time. And you're like, how can they do that? And again, through that great animation, they find a way. That was really great.
Will, thank you for the $5 super chats. What are your thoughts on The Social Network and Jesse Eisenberg's role as Mark Zuckerberg?
I liked it. It's when the movie starts, it makes it very clear what kind of movie it's going to be and what the writing is like. And it took a little bit for me to get used to it. But once I did, I really enjoyed it. I liked it quite a bit.
Miko, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Miko, thank you for
Okay,
5
good.
more gifted subs. Adam, thank you for the $5 super chat. How cool would it have been if Tobey Maguire played Uncle Ben in the MCU?
But I don't know. Okay, so I feel like I've said this before. I've kind of a prejudice against Tobey Maguire. I can't take the derp face. I don't like the voice. It doesn't even mean he's that bad an actor or anything. Like, he's been fine and stuff, but he just gets on my nerves. But he's been fine in lots of time. In fact, the last Spider-Man movie, I thought he was great in. So maybe he could pull it off. I also don't think he's old enough yet, though I guess you could argue Tomei wasn't really old enough to play Aunt May either. So I guess they all keep getting younger and younger, so maybe it makes sense.
Randy, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey, Doug, have you ever seen The Adventure of Pinocchio 1996 by Steve Barron, and what are your thoughts on it?
Is that the oh, that's the JTT movie, right? Hold on. I've been hanging around my wife too long. I guess it's part of being married, but because she had that's the one. She had a huge crush on Jonathan Taylor Thomas. For those not in the know, and she would always
JTT.
yeah, and she'd always say, JTT. Oh, that's a movie with JTT, right? I had such a crush on him. Yes, I know you had a crush on him. Good guy.
Miko, thank you for the 10 gifted subs. Brady, thank you for the $5 super chat. Who do you think would win in a fight? Goku versus Curious George. Who wins and why?
Goku, because he has like Super Saiyan powers, and George is a monkey.
Yeah. Miko, thank you for the 20 gifted subs. Appreciate
Thank you.
it.
Good lord.
Unheard Sirens, thank you for the $5 super chat. After today's NC, have to ask, should killer clowns even be considered horror? It's not remotely scary, just funny. Is it just me?
Oh, I mean, that's part of it's like a subgenre, horror comedy and stuff, like satire of horror. But it's still sticking to the tropes of horror, I feel like. It's like saying, is Blazing Saddles really a Western? Well, yeah, but it's a satire of Westerns. It's very clearly combining these genres. So, yeah, I mean, I would.
Majestic Demon, thank you for the 500 bits. Doug, come closer. Come here. Come closer. I killed Mufasa.
Okay, I mean, it's a Disney film. I figure, it's got to happen at some point. At least it's not me. You know what? I'm happy. Thank you. That makes me feel really, really good about myself. You have made my day. It's good to know.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. What do you think of Bryan Cranston as the main dog in Isle of Dogs?
I remember liking him. So it's weird. Those movies, his movies do have good performances. They're all kind of on the same note. They are and they aren't. Like, there's not a ton of variety to them, but they're so much fun to listen to, and there's such a fun deadpan tone and delivery to a lot of the characters that's pretty entertaining and very stylistic. That they usually pull it off very well.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. What do you think of the brother relationship of Corey and his brother Eric?
That's gotta be
Boy Meets World. Right? That's gotta be.
Yeah, I liked it better early on, though I acknowledge like the dynamic should change. They should become closer. I feel like that's what happens with siblings. Hopefully, as they get older and the power dynamic kind of changes, like they do. Sometimes there's that friction, but that's part of growing up, and then they usually do become older and like, hey, what were we fighting about? What was this power dynamic thing? And I feel like they kind of address that while still keeping it alive a little bit. But yeah, but then they do kind of become just kind of typical sitcom characters, which it is fine. It's a comedy, but yeah, I liked it better early on. I feel like
I can't wait until you and Rob grow up and you stop fighting.
never. But
Shout-
again, if you think we're bad now, you should have seen us when we were younger, man.
Shouting Joker, thank you for the 500 bits. Thoughts on the movie Mac and Me?
Um, that's another one of those my mom wouldn't let me see because it was too stupid, and she would rarely put her foot down because something was too stupid. And it's another one of those where I'm like, I'm kind of glad I missed this. This did look pretty dumb. But I saw it years later, and I think I saw so many reviews about it before I saw the whole film that I was like, okay, I feel like I got a feel for it, and yeah, I did. It's about what I thought it would be. I don't think it would be my kind of dumb. To really like get sucked into. But I get why it's other people's, kind of guilty pleasure for how crazy and what obvious commercial it is.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. What's your favorite moment between Elisa and Goliath?
Um, I mean, I'm always the guy that likes the tragic romance, so I love. There was something where I think he's gonna like confess a little bit more, like that like he does have feeling for her, and like he was gonna say something, and then she finishes the sentence with something else, and he says, "That's not what I was gonna say." And she says, "I know." And then he turns to stone, and she says, "But that's the way it is." Like she knows they can never be a thing, and I like that. I always like the tragic romance stuff.
Chat, we appreciate you. We love you. But keep in mind, we only have about 4 more minutes left. Dibble is gold. Thank you for the 500 bits. Love your channel. Been watching for years. Ever thought of doing a Warner Brothers month? Their catalog is probably too big, but Warn Timber? Warn Vember?
Oh, okay, like a like one every day kind of thing. Man, I don't even know. I mean, I guess Disney has a lot too, but man, Warner's is so huge. I don't know. That'd be rough.
Adam, thank you for the $10 super chat. Which one had the more frustrating cliffhanger ending, Teen Titans or Spectacular Spider-Man? Fun fact, Spectacular was originally supposed to last 5 seasons, but then Disney bought Marvel.
Yeah, I did hear that. Spectacular Spider-Man for me. Teen Titans is very fun, but I feel like I got my fill by the end. Where with Spectacular Spider-Man, I'm like, oh, like I was just getting this groove. You know what I mean?
Will, thank you for the $5 super chat. Home on the Range review, Doug. I know you've got some material for what's known as one of the worst Disney animated movies ever made.
Maybe it's another one I'm not super passionate about, but you're right. There is plenty of material.
Adam, thank you for the $5 super chat. Old versus new, The Parent Trap.
I don't really do that many old versus news anymore, but that wouldn't be a bad one because those are both pretty good movies.
David, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug, buddy, old pal, any chance we get a Titan AE, Ralph Batchke Wizards, or a Nostalgia Critic and AVGN review?
I mean, we've done crossovers before, so you can definitely look those up. Titan AE, maybe, and Bakshi Wizards. I just realized I like to, but there's some nutsy, as we call them here, symbols in there that I don't think YouTube would probably take it down.
Christian, thank you for the $2 super chat. Heather, did you enjoy the Spy Family movie? I did. We had a wonderful time at the Spy Family movie. Okay, whew. All right, we got a couple of minutes for maybe a couple of things here.
Do it.
Jade Wolf on YouTube wants you to know, Doug, stop smiling. You're scaring the kids.
Never.
Perfect. Thank you. Elite says over on Twitch, hello, Heather and Doug. Hope you're both well. I have a question for you both. What's your absolute favorite actor/actress of all time? And Doug, you have to choose someone else besides Chaplin.
Actor, like maybe a toss up between like George C. Scott and Gregory Peck. Actress, maybe Laura Linney or Kathy Bates. They're both pretty great.
Brady, thank you for the $5 super chat. I'd have to disagree with you, Doug. Curious George would run circles around Goku.
Ah, okay. Well, guess set myself up for that.
Lego over on Twitch says, Doug, I love you and your channel. You are the one of the best influences in my life, and I'm making a Lego version of NC for a Lego stop motion series where all things I grew up on come together in a fractured universe. And when I'm making funny nods to things that happen, you're going to be one of those funny moments.
Oh my god, that's so cool! Thank you so much. Yeah, keep me posted on that. Sounds really cool.
Hayden over on YouTube says, Hi, Doug. Would you be open to reviewing the other Indiana Jones movies?
I would, but we were bringing it up before. The nutsy images in their YouTube takes him down. I think I even mentioned it in the last one, and there's just way too much of that imagery in the other movies, so probably not, even though I'd love to.
Portchester VA over on Twitch says, What would you say is the worst film that you've ever seen? Is it still Garbage Pail Kids, or has there been another film that has dethroned it?
Nah, it's Garbage Pail Kids. Nothing's dethroned it yet.
Adam, thank you for the $5 super chat. Why don't you do that much old versus new anymore?
They just take a lot more time. There's a Buster. Nobody ever sees Buster.
A
There's
Buster! A
He's
rare
probably got
Buster
one too.
sighting. That's all right.
And
Thank
there
you,
it goes. Yeah.
Buster.
But you got a little Buster there.
Yeah.
Gosh, he shed a lot. They just take a lot more time to do because it isn't just editing a movie in order. It's going and finding the clips and piecing it together. And just, I'm older. I'm still writing, acting, editing, all that stuff, shooting. So yeah, it does take a lot out of me.
Well, on that rare Buster sighting, I think is where we're going to end the stream today.
Awesome.
But thank you all so much as usual for joining us here today. We super appreciate it. We do have content over on Twitch 5 days a week, so come join us there, twitch.tv/channel awesome. YouTube, keep your eyes peeled because we may, in the very near future, start dual streaming the Doug playthroughs again. So maybe come back on Friday. Come on back on Friday on Twitch or on YouTube. We'll see you there. On the Twitch side of things, we are going to go over and raid Miss Tamara Chambers. If I can type her name and talk at the same time, I can't. Great. We're gonna go raid her. Have a wonderful night, everyone. Thank you so much. We appreciate you, and we will see y'all later. Bye.
Bye.